Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Carmen Meyer with the Tennessee Beef Council, and we're back for our 11th day of beef. This is a really great one. I'm excited to introduce you all to Laurie Forster. She is a wine coach. She's amazing, so much fun. I love listening to Laurie and learning from her. But she is going to talk to us today about beef and wine pairings for the holidays, or probably any time. So, Lori, what do you have for us today?
Thanks so much, Carmen. There's no time that you shouldn't enjoy a great glass of wine with some delicious, nutritious beef. But certainly the holidays seem to be a time that we're thinking about entertaining and making food, and maybe even making food COVID friendly. So I thought it would be great to talk about a pairing that I love because I'm not a big chef, but I love to put things together. And so I have a little charcuterie board here that I want maybe to give you a little close up on. And it's just my beef board here. I lost a nut, but that's okay. And what I have here for my choices are a bresaola, which is actually a raw cured beef charcuterie from Italy. And then I also have on the other side a summer sausage, which is a cooked beef sausage. So both of those are great. I included some cheese and chocolate and some figs. Also go great with my wine pick. And let me put this down before I spill it. But what I loved about that is if you can get these little boards, you can make an individual board for each person, and then you don't have to worry about germs and people feeling weird. These sorts of things used to be, we would put them on huge boards and everybody would eat off of it, but that's kind of changing. So mini boards, individual boards are perfect for this time of year. And I love the idea of having beef with something other than red wine, although that is delicious. It's more versatile than that. And people always think, meat with red. But when you have a wine that's a rosé, I chose a Gruet sparkling rosé from New Mexico, believe it or not. It is the most delicious rosé. It tastes like a rosé champagne. And in fact, the Gruet family comes from Champagne, France. They moved to America and found this land in New Mexico. It is one of my secret weapons at the holidays. You can get this for under $20, 100% Pinot Noir. And when you have a rosé bubbly and you're pairing it with beef, a little rule, Carmen, is pair it with beef the same color as the wine. So you want rare roast beef if you would rather than the bresaola, a cooked meat, get a rare roast beef. Get your pink summer sausage. You're not going to your porterhouse steaks, right? That's a little too big for our sparkling rosé. But what I love about this is a brut style dry rosé sparkling wine. Can't call it champagne because it's not from Champagne, France, but lots of good berry fruit, crisp acidity. And so with the bresaola, that's a cured meat. So think it's got some good salt content to it. And when you have foods with salt, they're very well matched with wines that have acidity. And that's what our rosé bubbly has. Any rosé brut bubbly would have as well. Same with our summer sausage. You've got spices and salt in there. And so the fruit and acidity in this wine is going to be the perfect match for that. Whereas if we had a bigger preparation, we want a fuller bodied wine, maybe with more tannin, which is something that combined with the fats in the beef. But I thought this is perfect. It's a no cook little gathering that you can have with your bubble friends or your family. And it's two amazing, interesting preparations of beef. And who doesn't like sparkling wine? I mean, I'd say at the holidays, Carmen, but really it's fast becoming an everyday favorite.
So true, and I love the idea of the smaller board for individual servings. That's really great. And so the Rosada, is that how you say that?
Bresaola, yes.
Rosada.
Yep.
Is that something you have to go to the local butcher to find?
Well, we found it at one of our specialty grocery stores. It's a large chain, but you can also find it on Amazon. I did do a little Googling, but yeah, you could go to your specialty grocery stores or butchers. The one I found, luckily, was already sliced. So it wasn't like you're buying a piece that you have to cut down. It was kind of like you might buy a prosciutto in that sort of package and already pre-sliced. And so it was just great and easy to fold into like little triangles. And the summer sausage, of course, comes in the typical preparation. But yeah, you should be able to find it, especially I live in a small town. So if I can find it, pretty sure everybody else can find it too.
Yeah, I will have to look for that because that's one beef item I've not tried, but I'm really interested in giving that a go. And I'll definitely be pairing it with something that you mentioned, the sparkling
Yeah. And
light, and such a great tip there with the colors. I've never heard that before.
right. It's just an easy thing to think about. With the same cup, the same pink, you want pink beef or, raw, not raw with the Brazella or rare with the roast beef if you go that route. And then my other favorite, I didn't make it for this, but is beef carpaccio over an arugula salad with, just some shaved Parmesan and maybe a little truffle oil in there. That would also be really delicious with this too. So lots of options for beef and rosé. It doesn't have to be red anymore. I mean, red for the holiday, but pink for your glass.
Yes. So easy, like you said, minimal preparation, but it really looks fancy and elegant, and
Exactly.
definitely be a memorable experience for the holidays. Now, I know you don't have any kind of beef roast for us today, but if you were having a steak or some kind of beef roast, something that's heavier, you touched on it before, but do you have anything in particular in mind you pair with that?
So a nice roast beef for your holiday dinner. I would say there's a lot of great reds out there that I would pick. I mean, of course, sort of a natural thing that we always think is Cabernet Sauvignon, which is always fast friends with a roast. But maybe try it from somewhere different. So if you're always getting cabs from California, maybe try a Chilean cab this year. There's so many great values in South America that you can find. When I first got into wine, I traveled over in Australia, and one of my first loves was Shiraz. They call it Shiraz in Australia. Gotta love that accent. And I think, for a while there, people just thought of it as, your inexpensive grocery store red, but there's so many really handcrafted, amazing Shiraz from Australia, producers like Peter Lehman or Torbreck that you can find. And by the way, Shiraz, same grape as Syrah. So you can go to Washington State and find amazing Syrahs from people like Lacole number 41. I think either of those would be great choices, and maybe even find one that's made locally to you. Every state makes wine. And so look for some of these same Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, or Syrah that's made wherever you reside.
That's great. Well, I don't think I'm going to wait for Christmas to roll around to do this. I'll probably just do something like this weekend because it all sounds so good. So,
Right.
Laurie, thank you for all of your information. Just so everyone knows, where can they find you, and do you have any upcoming events you'd like to share?
Yeah, you can go to thewinecoach.com, and I have actually a virtual wine tasting on December 16th. It's called Holiday Must Have Wines, and we're going to taste some of the things we discussed and even more. And every month I do a wine down Wednesday with a different topic. So please check out thewinecoach.com, join me. And, just like beef and wine are perfect partners, thank you, Carmen, for letting me be with you for this holiday video.
Of course. Thank you, Laurie. We appreciate you. And happy holidays.
Cheers.